Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video. Hope you all had a great weekend. We are going to look at Bitcoin, the ES, so the S&P 500 and the dollar index. Because right now we got a bounce for BTC. Question is this a higher low or are we going to make a lower high and then reverse more to the downside? If you like the content, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share the video with your friends if you think that's useful. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those links are also in the description. I update you there multiple times a day. Without further ado, let's start diving in. As I said, BTC, USD, this is on the 4 hour and these are the last few trading days from last week. And during the weekend we already established a little bit of a base of a bottom, and now we are going higher, and as I'm recording this we are getting a little bit of a bounce to the upside. We bounced Friday, Saturday, Sunday on a very critical level. It was the point of control of this whole bigger range, but it was also the golden pocket measured from this low to the high back to the golden pocket. And we're gonna zoom in there in a minute because we had two interesting levels and now we're bouncing off. But you can also see that there's a yellow line here through my screen, and that was the top from this moment right here. So that was 12th of September. And interesting to see is that this bottom right here marked out this top right here, and then this top right here marked out the bottom right here. So that's actually very nice to see that support and resistance are just being flipped from one side to another. This so far looks good. I was actually hoping maybe a little bit more on a bullish divergence. Of course it can still happen that the price goes lower, breaks the golden pocket maybe to the value area low, and then we are creating something like this, and then we have a nice bullish divergence. Well, that was a very ugly one, something like this. And now we have a very nice bullish divergence, and that is absolutely green light more to the upside. If we bounce from here, would also be fine. We actually had also green light here during the weekend. Let me zoom in here. Actually very interesting price action that we had here. This bounce of this candle right here was exactly to the 61.8 of the FIB retracement, and this bounce right here was just a few dollars over that support and resistance that came in then from I think it just said September. On the Bybit chart this was exactly, I think, to the dollar, and you can also see that these candles here are stopping very nicely. So you could say we had a low, a higher low, then a lower low, and then eventually we SFP'd that. So this actually was already the SFP from this low. So we're making a low, a higher low, sorry, a low, then we're going up, then we're making an SFP here. So this is your SFP of this candle right here, and then eventually you have an SFP of the SFP, and then we are marching higher. But actually now you really want to see if we are maybe rolling over, if we are really making a higher low on the hourly or on the 4 hourly. So for me, two scenarios to go long here. Once we go make a higher low at least on the hourly, and then of course preferable somewhere at the golden pocket or the 78.6, that would be nice. Then you have your higher low, nice textbook retracement, and then to go higher. Or we are really going one more time much lower and then creating a bullish divergence on 1 hour, 4 hour, maybe 6 hour. That would also still be for me green light. What concerns me a tiny bit is that this low has been put in the weekend. If we now just start pumping up and up and up, that we might get a very hard rejection here at the golden pocket or the 78.6, and then reversing to the upside. If that happens, I'm a little bit afraid that this low will not hold and that we eventually then just bust right through, because then we are really creating also a macro lower high, and then that is really then also kind of the top signal. I think then also a lot of shorts will be piling up, so that is something I'm really keeping an eye on right now. If we are moving to the upside, how do we get there? Is there a lot of market structure, or is it just one candle up, or are we doing something like this? Like I said, better it would be something like this or something like this. That would all be fine. But that is very important. How do we start behaving from that golden pocket on? And maybe you remember also drawing that we still have some liquidity on these highs right here from last week. That is still a very nice liquidity to take out. So if we would reverse here totally fine. And we also keep the liquidity on these highs, and then eventually you can, once you create that higher low or bullish divergence, you can really just pump up very fast, because then there's just so much liquidity to take from the top. Eventually, if we really start breaching this, then I think actually once we surpass that golden pocket 78.6 and take liquidity, I think this time we're going to break the 25,200, and then we still have a bigger level at 26,000, another golden pocket above us. If we go lower, I stick to my guns on what I said last week. Breaking this low right here is lights out. We're going to zero. That is our macro higher low. So we do not want to breach that, because then again you are really changing market structure. So that's kind of what I'm looking out for right now. Then to the ES 500, this was our ascending wedge. We broke out bearish retest, as we already discussed multiple times, going lower, and I said last week we are hitting the golden pocket measured from this top to these lows right here. So this is the low to the top, back to the golden pocket, but it also coincided with that support and resistance line that came in already since beginning of 2022, and once we broke it, I said, okay, now it's going to flip into very strong support. So if we are going lower now to the golden pocket, you want to see it act as support. Now don't take me for a dollar more or less, or maybe my drawing skills are not perfect, but here you can see that we hit the golden pocket, and now it's just bouncing off straight away. I also added something to my spot portfolio on the ETF for the S&P 500. Once we start reversing this again, I don't know, this was very, very critical resistance, so maybe it can hold a couple of times, but eventually if we are going much lower, then there's actually another nice level. If we are really going much lower, let's say we put this one all the way at the bottom, approximately here, then you can see that the new golden pocket also aligns then just underneath these candles. So then you're going lower and you're taking liquidity underneath all of this price section right here, and you're hitting the golden pocket. That would be super, super nice. I will probably add then quite a lot to my spot portfolio, but that is the next bigger target looking out for again. So first, now that golden pocket, maybe we revisit it. Let's see how it behave if we come lower. If not, or if we eventually break through, then this is the new one. So that is 3,772 to 3,793, and then of course that level where we bounced off early from. Let me redraw this real quick, approximately like this. Then you can see that it was 3,950 to 3,959. Dollar index, then we had a very important golden pocket where we spent quite some time. This was your high, this was your low, this is your golden pocket. You can see that there is quite some price action. We had some bounces and we kind of played around there for a couple of days, but then last Friday it really started running off, and that was also the moment when the ES and the other indexes were going lower. I said, well, once we breach that golden pocket, I am looking out for this top right here, and this top right here is the yellow line, but it also nicely lines up with another golden pocket, which is then measured from the bottom right here to the top right here. So that is actually a very nice level. Once we breach this, I think we only have this one and then really this top, and then we have that macro golden pocket here at 110. I'm already eyeing for that for a couple of months now. That would be, if we get there, the major lower high, and once we then reverse, then I think it's yippee-ki-yay, stocks and crypto to the upside. But that is right now what I'm looking out for. As you can see, this is on the 4 hour. I can even zoom in on the hourly. We're getting quite the rejection as we speak from that golden pocket, so therefore stocks and crypto are now going up a little bit. I forgot, by the way, one thing. Wow, that was intense. I already thought so. I had a lot of lines the other day, and they were all off. I was like, how is this possible that all these lines are off? And now they're here on my screen. Man, this is intense. Let me quickly take this off, because there's actually one more thing that I want to show you guys, and I don't want to now do the entire recording again. My lordy. Well, there you can see I'm not perfect either. Actually, it is on market Cipher B right now. Last week we said already that didn't look so good on the 12 hour. but the money flow, yes, is still down, but now we actually have a nice trigger wave right here. And also on the daily you can see that yes, the momentum waves are lower, but the money flow actually behaves still pretty good. As you can see, it even looks like now that the money flow, or it looks like it is, money flow is curving again a little bit to the upside. So I think 1 or 2 green days and then eventually seeing a green dot here again. VWAP is also going higher and the RSIs are still pretty tight together. That signals strength. That would just because of this bigger time frame, my bias right now is we might zig and zag, we might come down again, we might make that bullish divergence, we might take out the low, we might make a higher low, but I think at least on the, let's say, intermediate time frame, we are going higher, just because there is still maybe some room to go to the upside. There's still some fuel in the indicators, and also especially when the dollar index comes down a little bit, then I think there is still quite some room to go to the upside. Of course, that major target still will be 25,200. Right, a little bit of a mess in this video, but I hope you can enjoy that we're keeping it real. If you do, again guys, please do me a favor, like and subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything, leave me a comment, share the video with your friends if you think this is useful. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram where I update you multiple times a day. Thank you guys so much, see you in the next one, bye bye.